Hey everyone, this is Destroyer24. This isn't exactly a Wizard 101 style video. This is obviously Minecraft, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you a automatic kelp farm that I came up with. It's modular, so you can add on to it if you so do please. You just have to shift a couple things around. The easiest way to add on to it that I would see would be coming back here and keep on adding water conveyors going back that direction. However, the difference between these two is that this one is actually designed to be fully automatic with the new 1.21 update with the auto crafter. And I have checked and made sure this works. So basically the way it works is the way a standard kelp farm normally starts to work. You've got your kelp growing down here at the bottom. You've got pistons that will break the kelp once they reach a certain point. Once you fly up, you'll see a line of observers up at the top. These observers will go, and once the kelp reaches them, they will go ahead and smack all the pistons on, not just for this side, but for this side as well. So both sides of this one side of the farm are completely even. And basically it just uses a lot of redstone dust and a lot of redstone and a lot of repeaters in order to make that happen, so there is a little bit of a delay. Most of all the items, I say most of them because some of them will get stuck on the wall. This is common in many types of farms. But most all of them will float up to the top. Once they hit the top, they will flow their way over here, hit the ice, and slide into the central column. Once they slide into the central column, then they will slide off into this water conveyor, slide down, hit this ice, hit this piece of ice, and then slide down into this tube, which is where all of the auto crafting will start. Looking through at all of this, you've got another piece of ice that goes into a hopper, that goes into a dropper. This dropper is set up with for the most part. There's not really any way I can get this to fully stop locking, but this is integrated with a double firing mechanism. So it will help prevent the hopper from locking itself. You've got two comparators, one on either side, an observer reading the comparators and sending a redstone signal back to the dropper to make it fire. This will actually work in two different ways, where it'll actually where the comparators fire off once for whenever the dropper ends up gaining an item, and then it'll fire off again once the dispenser stops. So technically the most that I can have in this at this point is probably 3 or 4 items at one time. However, this hopper is enough of a bottleneck in the way it's set up where this one has no repeater, this one has a repeater on a 2-tick delay, so this helps reduce down on the amount of what people like to call current locking or something like that, where basically it locks itself, because this can also be used as a locking mechanism. Going on from there, it will fire out the kelp. And honestly, this part is completely unnecessary. I just thought it would have been funny because it was part of an older design, If you wanted to make it more efficient, you could literally just build a line of droppers, a line of hoppers down to our next part, which is the smoker here. This smoker gets fed off of the farm. We'll get to that in a second. But it takes all the kelp that is taken from the farm, cooks it into dried kelp, and then sends it down this item topper here, which is to the new auto crafter, which is set up to a 2-observer infinite tick clock, which can actually be doubled up if you wanted to make the system more efficient, like have 2 farms on it. You could build one of the circuits on this side, you could build another one of the circuits on the other side, and have the crafter connected to them both. It would basically double the output of the entire farm. Suffice to say, if you had enough growing grounds to keep up with it. Once it crafts once it gets all 9 pieces of dried kelp in here, it will craft a dried kelp block. That dried kelp block will fall down into this hopper. This hopper, if you guys know how hoppers work, they flow down and then over. They flow down and then to whichever direction they're facing. It's a priority thing. Once it flows down, it will flow down into this bottom chest, fill up that chest, then fill up this one. And finally, it will go into this dropper, which will spit them back out, up, and over to the smoker again, and basically give this thing an endless source of fuel. So basically, this thing will run until the hoppers back up all the way back to the top. The other thing, this dropper is fed by another one of those, basically that clock, but on a different idea. It's got a comparator, goes into an observer. That observer goes into another observer, into another observer, into another observer, over to this grass block. It has to be some sort of solid light blocking block, or else it will not. Transmit redstone signal. That signal goes up to this redstone and then fires the dropper off. It can split into that dropper if it gets enough in it, but at that point it's splitting so much that this will actually lock up on itself. So this isn't exactly a Wizard 101 video. I just wanted to show you basically my design for a fully automatic kelp block recycler farm that will not only give you kelp blocks, but it'll also keep itself running indefinitely. I'm sure that if one of the bigger redstone YouTubers like Mumbo Jumbo, or somebody like Mumbo Jumbo or Tankotech or someone like that ended up seeing this, they would end up taking this farm and improving upon it greatly. But for instance, they would probably make the auto-crafting way faster by adding another auto-crafter onto the end of here. They'd probably figure out some way to prevent this from blocking, and they'd probably find out some way to make this automatically feed itself. But other than that, I don't really have much else. Just wanted to give you the rundown of how this worked, give you an idea of how exactly it looked, and basically put the design out there for anybody who wanted to attempt to build it from my very, very limited knowledge, because it is a farm, it is functional, it just needs a little bit of a jump. It just needs a jump start with the smoker. Just stick probably an entire full hopper of dried kelp blocks in there, and it will basically feed itself for quite a while, and you'll get quite a bit of dried kelp out of it. But other than that, I didn't really have anything else. This was kind of an out of the ordinary episode. I'll probably be recording a Wizard 101 fire walkthrough video that will go up probably right about after this. So thank you all for watching, and bye!